Two kindergarten friends reunited after 30 long years, only for an unbelievable reason. Everything happens for a reason. People often say this, but not many of us believe this. The most beautiful things in life cannot be seen or touched, but they're the ones which can only be felt from our heart. We as humans can only hope for the best to come, a hope that someone will someday shine our life in a way no one else could. School life is one of the most memorable phases of anyone's life. When we were kids and nothing in this world bothered us, though carefree, jolly, and happy childhood days are gone, their memories still reside with us. Justin and Amy, two school friends at a preschool, never knew that the time they spent together back then would affect their future in ways unimaginable. Honestly, they were too young to even think of the consequences later. When their paths crossed years later, everything changed. Changed for the better or for worse, no one knows, but it changed forever. This story dates back to the days when the boy and girl were in preschool. Yeah, you heard that right. It all starts from the time when they just began to tap upon the craziest stage in life, childhood. Those real smiles, muddy hands, and carefree laughter. Little did they know how fate would meddle with their lives and everything would come to a still. Justin Pounders and Amy Nee Giberson were classmates in the preschool of St. Petersburg's good old Sunshine, Florida. In school, kids that age just learn to develop and form friendships and relationships. They don't even know the meaning of such relation formations. Kids then just enjoy the companionship. While everyone was busy learning basic education in life, Justin never realized while playing at the swings that he developed a liking, a childhood crush for his classmate Amy. They were both kids who didn't care about the happenings, but soon, only time will tell that things happen for a reason. Amy and Justin were only 3 years old back then. Neither of them realized that when sitting together, it bloomed into a precious friendship. They had their own set of happiness attached in sitting over the same table and eating their meals together. It wouldn't be wrong to say that they were sharing a puppy love. Even their class teacher, Diane Tuar, said they had a blast together while playing and loved sitting next to each other. However, she also says that as they're in the formative years for the children, no one takes it as anything else than cuteness. However, things took a U-turn. Back then, what everyone named as cuteness or childishness soon only lost the charm. Kindergarten came to an end and life happened. But as they say, one never knows what the next morning's sun holds for us. Something that, yet totally unanticipated, happened. Justin and Amy grew into ambitious teens and soon into responsible adults. They left the kindergarten behind, and what seemed to be puppy love also faded away. They both went to different paths. Little did they know that their lives were destined to cross each other's paths yet again, when incidents would be lined in a manner that invited drastic change. Time went by like anything, and as they grew old, they too forgot that they once had a friend named Amy and Justin in their respective lives. They met quite a lot of faces as they groomed into their professions. The school was left long behind, and so was the childhood crush. But a lot more was yet to happen. Amy turned into a gorgeous, independent woman. She was sheer beauty, and that too with a brain. She was a kind-hearted being full of life. She could make anyone smile with her liveliness. However, she too had a set of problems that always came unintended to her. A problem that wasn't exactly a problem until one day. Amy always believed in fantasy love. She was on a constant hunt for a partner and a relationship. She found many guys and dated them too, but always ended up in a mess. Her friends warned her that she easily trusts anyone and goes blind into relationships, but she never got this. She was a hopeless romantic, yet this wasn't the end, girl. Well, if you think that her broken heart and betrayed trust was somewhere mended by Justin, then that's not the case. Justin's life was way too different from Amy's, and he was even in a stable relationship. Then what happened? Amy had many broken relationships. Every time she thought that this one would work out, soon only they again ended up being a failure. She was searching for a dedicated person all her life, but each man she came across turned out to be commitment phobic. She always wondered why things don't turn out good until the day this happened. While Amy was twisted in the strings of broken ties, Justin was a settled one. He was enjoying every bit of his life in Orlando with his better half, the love of his life, Adrienne Roberts. The couple was very much in love, and their days were incomplete until they saw each other. Soon, their relationship got official. Adrienne decided to move in with Justin, but just before she did, she wanted to have a bachelorette party with her friends. And with this, a piece of news came that shattered Justin's world. Just a night before Adrienne was to move in with her beau, she partied hard with her friends and shared drinks. Justin was happy with the way things were turning, a good job and a loving partner. It was just perfect for him, but soon, this man was proved wrong. After having a drink with her roommate on her way back home, Adrienne lost her life in an accident. She was lying on the street motionless, all covered in blood. Justin's world came to an end and he had no clue what to do. The woman who was just about to move in with him never returned to Justin. He received a call from an anonymous person who told him the tragedy to which Adrienne had fallen prey to. Tears rolled down Justin's face. He couldn't bear the pain of separation from his beloved. It was as if someone stole the soul from his body. What happened in the days to come was unexpected. Adrienne's departure broke Justin to the extremes. He couldn't bear this major loss in his life and slipped into depression. For almost 2 years, he lost track of life around and would just be sobbing over his girlfriend and the memories attached to her. This wasn't the time for Amy to cross his path, but she came in. Maybe fate still had a card left to be revealed yet. Days, months, years passed, autumn came, and after 2 years of isolation, Justin decided to go back to Florida and spend time with his family and friends and deal with life. In all this, he never thought that a piece of his past that he left back long behind would surround him yet again. Justin wanted to fill the space that was somewhere empty in his heart since the day Adriana left. He was ready to move on in life and was in search of a companion who could strengthen him. He made a profile on a dating website and the thing almost next to impossible happened. Within a few days of logging into the website, he surprisingly came across Amy's profile. Her profile had attracted him in a manner no other did. He recalls, there was something in her photography that instantly got my attention. Her smile was something he couldn't take his eyes off, but would Amy somehow show interest in Justin's profile? He wasn't sure whether Amy would show any interest in him. All those crazy thoughts that one has before dating was coming to him again. Luckily, Amy did show some curiosity in Justin's profile. However, neither of them recognized each other and were still strangers. The moment Amy and Justin shared their profiles, they instantly connected and decided to talk and chat for some time before finally planning to meet. It was on the 3rd of December 2014 that they went on an official date. This was the date when a lot that was hidden came to the surface. Does that mean they recognized one another? Amy told her friends about meeting this new guy and that she was falling for him, and her friends as always warned her that it was too soon. But Amy felt so comfortable with Justin that somewhere she felt it was gonna be different. And on one of the dates, Justin told her about his school-time crush, Amy. Amy never questioned Justin about his crush on a girl named Amy until the day she saw a scar just above one of Justin's eyes. She questioned him about that scar and the response came as a surprise to both of them. Justin told her he got that back in kindergarten when he fell from monkey bars at St. Petersburg Good Old Sunshine Preschool. Wait, what? The moment Amy heard the name of her preschool, she was surprised. She just had one thing to say, what? We were in the same class, there must be a mistake. This was a coincidence too good to be true. They realized that they'd met before as well, but they wanted to be sure. Amy rushed back to her home and asked her mother to help her find the old kindergarten photos. And after having a look at the photos, it was confirmed that they both were in the same class and were the best of friends. The duo was just speechless at this confirmation. The confirmation came as a blessing to them though. While Amy thought that it was because it was meant to happen, it didn't work with any of her exes, and Justin thought Amy was a gift that his late fiancée left for him. The duo had an array of emotions running through their hearts. The duo did not rush things and dated for about a year when their story got famous and was picked up by ABC's The View. The couple was equally excited to narrate their story to the world. It was really surprising that the kindergarten love bees met almost 30 years later. However, they didn't know what was coming. The pair were sharing their story, how they knew each other in preschool and were clueless about one another for years, how they moved on different paths and then suddenly came across one another. The conversation went on to a personal level that suddenly a video message popped up on the screen and even the hosts went mute. The video message was from the staff at their preschool in Florida. It had their teachers and a few of the students, and as the video continued, Amy was surprised to see what the kids in the front row had a banner reading, "Amy, will you marry me?" She was shocked. The very same moment, Justin got onto one knee and said, "Amy, I love you very much. Will you marry me?" Amy just broke into tears and couldn't believe what was happening. Justin proposed to her over national television, but there was no scopes of Amy denying this proposal. Amy had her entire life flashing in front of her eyes, and the love and care that she felt of Justin made it all clear. She accepted the ring and hugged and kissed him that very moment. The entire audience and the people in the studio had tears of joy and started applauding. What next? Amy and Justin got married in 2016 on November 18th. They were crazy for each other and had never thought that a casual preschool friendship would blossom into a fairy tale. They then headed for the Caribbean for a 2-week vacation. The duo couldn't have been happier. Who knew that a casual friendship would eventually end up in a happy marriage? Many of us don't even remember who we were friends with in kindergarten, probably have even lost touch. But maybe someday one might get lucky like these two and reunite after 30 years.